Hello mathematicians. Today we're going to learn a couple different strategies on how to subtract money. So the first way is just like how we learned how to add money, and it's just using the standard algorithm. So it's making sure that we line up the decimals, okay? So we would do $35.78 minus $10.32. 8 minus 2 is 6. 70 minus 30 is 40. Oops. Bad Mrs. Halverson. We don't need to rename that, do we? 5 minus 0 is 5. And 30 minus 10 is 20. So our answer is 25.46. Remember, we lined up the decimal points and we dropped it right down here because we know that in the cents, there's always going to be 2 digits, okay? Or, remember we learned this too, you can take out the decimals, do the subtraction, and add the decimal back in because you know that there's always going to be 2 digits in the cents place. So that's our first strategy. The second strategy, which I wouldn't recommend unless you have a larger cents in the larger number, if that makes sense. So this would be a good candidate for the dollar and cents strategy because not only is 35 larger than 10, 78 is larger than 32. If we had a number like, let's just say $35.32 minus $10.78, this would not be a good candidate for this strategy because 32, you can't subtract 78 unless you go into negative numbers, and we don't do that in 3rd grade. So make sure that your question is a good candidate before you try this strategy. But lucky for us, it is. Okay, so we would do first the dollars. So 35 minus 10 is 25. 78 minus 32, 8 minus 2 is 6, 7 minus 3 is 4. So our answer would be 25.46. Okay, so that's a good candidate for that. Now, my favorite strategy, of course, for this is the number line. Excuse me, but when we're adding or subtracting, when we're subtracting with a number line, it's a little bit different than when we're adding with a number line. So remember, when we're subtracting numbers, we're finding the difference between these 2 numbers. Okay, so how much more do we need to get from this number to this number? Okay, so when we're doing subtraction on a number line, we're always going to start with the smaller number. And then we actually do have an ending point. It's the larger number. So we are figuring out how much money is in between $10.32 and $35.78. So we're finding the difference between $10.32 and $35.78. So in order to get from 10 to 35, I know that we need at least $20. So if we make a big jump and we have $20 here, we go from $10.32 to $30.32. Okay, so I know that to get from 30 to 35, we need $5. And now we're at $35.32. Now we need to get from $35.32 to $35.78. I know that to get from 30 to 70, I'm going to need 40 cents. Okay, and now we're at $35.72. Okay, to get from $35.72 to $35.78, we're going to need 6 cents. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky and sometimes kind of confusing. Now, we got here And we need to make sure that we add up all of our jumps. So 20 plus 5 is 25, plus 40 cents plus 6 cents. So then we would get our total of $25.46. Okay, do you see how I added up all of my jumps? That's how we find the difference between this number and this number. So I hope the strategies that we practiced today are going to help you subtracting your money on your homework. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.